No matter how good a player is at speedruns, a little luck and video game magic is essential for getting past specific sections in games. Watch and see how unlucky some of these gamers are as they attempt speedruns and deal with obstacles like game glitches, crazy occurrences, and even distractions from other players. Before you watch, click subscribe. You'll join our notification squad and be the first to know of brand new content. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas Plane Crash. The release of Grand Theft Auto San Andreas showcased how impressive the programming was at Rockstar Gaming. The game was released for consoles like the PS2 and Xbox 360, showcasing a huge map that felt like an actual city. Along with moving traffic, citizens on the street, and random weather patterns, players also need to be aware of dangers in the sky. During a speed run through the whole story mode of the game, one player ran into major problems as they were traveling up a curved hill. Out of nowhere, a plane crashed down on the player and killed them instantly. While it may seem like a random glitch, that element is actually a part of the game. The San Andreas engine was programmed to trigger rare and random plane crashes throughout the city. This one just happened to land exactly on the player and killed them instantly. There was no way to avoid it, and the explosion came out of nowhere. The respawn location took a considerable amount of time away from the speedrun, along with the shock of the plane crash itself. For a speedrun that could take an hour or more, this was a huge setback that probably resulted in restarting the whole thing altogether. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask. The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask is known for its great adventure, awesome combat, and really pushed the limits of the Nintendo 64. Along with the main quest in the game, there are a number of built-in mini-games that allow Link to collect extra rubies and unlock different features. One of these bonuses is known as the Dog Race. In the game, Link picks a random dog, and if it gets first place in the race, then he is awarded with a number of prizes. Some savvy players have discovered that by wearing the Mask of Truth, you can pick up the golden puppy and determine whether he will win if he gives off a single bark. While doing a completion speed run through the game, one player really struggled with this part. He went for the golden puppy more than 5 different times, with each one failing to give off the indication that it would win the race. Over and over again, the player attempts to find the winning puppy, but the Mask of Truth obviously was malfunctioning. After a few minutes of trying, the speedrun clock was way off and it was going to be impossible to make up for the lost time. The never-ending Hammer Bros. While performing speedruns, there are some things that are out of players' control. This includes loading times, cutscenes, and small animations that occur between levels. In Super Mario Bros. 3, the map views of the game often featured short animations and moments where players must sit and wait. Along with locked doors opening and bonus levels appearing, the march of the Hammer Bros must also be followed. In the game, the Hammer Bros are short bonus levels that offer ways to earn power-ups and extra items. As one player was speeding through multiple worlds, he found himself waiting for the Hammer Bros to get into position. The two brothers ended up going on the same path together and walked up and down for several seconds. In a Super Mario speed run, every second counts, and this became extremely frustrating. The Hammer Bros kept randomly moving until they finally split up and went into different positions. The crazy delay was enough to take down the score and really impact the speed run as a whole. Not only did the player have to wait there for them to get into position, but then he had to fight them to get a clear path to the next level. The Bob-Omb Failure. Doing a speedrun in a Mario Party game is a pretty big risk. A lot of the games rely on chance, especially when it comes to some of the board game options in more recent versions of the series. This still hasn't stopped players from attempting fast speedruns using the single-player campaign mode. In the original Mario Party for N64, one player found himself in a minigame known as Hot Bob-Omb. In the game, the players toss around a Bob-Omb as it gets closer to exploding. The person last left with the bomb when it explodes is the loser of the game. With 3 other players, the speedrunner only had to survive with a 1 in 4 chance. Not only does the Bob-Omb explode on him once, but it happens twice in a row. It was just plain bad luck as he quickly tossed the Bob-Omb, but one of his opponents would throw it right back just as the timer ran out. Not only did he lose the minigame, but the speedrun as a whole was all bombed out. Maybe he'll have better luck in the Mario Party 2 version of the same minigame. Distracting trolls in Mario 64. Streaming your live streams online comes with many benefits. You can gain huge groups of fans, rack up video views, and also get donations for your video game efforts. There are some downfalls to the gaming live streams as well. One of the main ones to worry about are trolls. Internet trolls are constantly trying to foil speedruns, cause distractions, and impact a player's score. This is exactly what happened when one player was trying to set a speedrun record in Super Mario 64. After breezing through the game and setting a brisk pace, all the player had to do was defeat Bowser and victory could be his. his. This is when the troll decided to strike. Using the donation option and voice controls, donations were sent in with long messages aimed at distracting the player. Well, it worked. The message came up on the screen and followed with the audio rendering. The player didn't respond to the crude messages, but clearly noticed them as he missed a crucial move to take Bowser out. It added a lot of time to the final speedrun and ultimately cost him the set time that he was going for. Resident Evil 2. Zombies everywhere. Classic games are great for speedruns, but players are often unaware of the technological problems that could plague their gaming experience. Glitches, errors, and faulty gaming code can often result in quick shortcuts, but they can also create major problems for reaching a fast goal. One of these glitches happened in a speedrun for Resident Evil 2. As a player was making his way through many different rooms, he probably expected to encounter zombies, but nothing like this. At first, the character enters a hallway with two small zombies. Then some type of mirror effect occurs and the zombies multiply as they take up the whole screen. Suddenly, Resident Evil 2 looks like an EDM party and all of the background elements disappear. Even the main character goes into mirror mode, filling up the screen with multiple versions. The player desperately tries to move in multiple directions, but it only seems to make everything worse, and then he realizes that he's doomed. The glitch lasts long enough for the zombies to strike and kill him off. The speedrun was forced to restart after this crazy moment. Wild Weedles attack. Pokemon isn't a game that is meant for speedruns. Players are encouraged to explore, hunt for Pokemon, and battle it out with as many as possible. Despite this, players want to become Pokemon masters as quickly as possible and get to the end of the game in just a matter of minutes. When playing the original Pokemon Red and Blue, this can be a little challenging with the random Pokemon that spawn in fields of grass. During a speedrun live feed, one player attempted to go through a field of grass that would typically spawn only one Pokemon, if that. Just a few feet in and boom, a wild Weedle appears. He runs away to quickly end the battle when boom, another wild Weedle. To his dismay, he leaves again, only to be stopped by two more Weedles in the tiny field. Time keeps on ticking as the Weedles appear and he runs away over and over again. The poor player probably feels a twinge of anger anytime he's confronted with a Weedle while playing multiple versions of the Pokemon games. Hidden lava in Minecraft. The goal of a Minecraft speedrun is to build and collect enough supplies to build an end portal and defeat the Ender Dragon. Players have been able to set records in just minutes, but it requires a lot of planning and resources. This includes spawning to certain areas, knowing where to mine, and getting a little luck along the way. One player had all of that going for him, but probably needed a little extra luck to finish the job. While digging into the ground and building tools, the player was on a roll, collecting items and sticking to a good pace. That's when they dug just a little too far. In a random occurrence, the player hits a spot of lava and died instantly. The speedrun ended and it was just terrible luck that a stream of lava happened to be running through that exact location. In a randomly generated world, you may come across water or some rare materials, but lava is typically located a little deeper than that. At least stuff like that doesn't happen in the real world. We'd be using a lot less shovels in the backyard. The Flying Bumblebee. RPG games feature a lot of battles and ways for characters to build up their HP as they advance through levels. While it's great to get through a lot of battles, this is not the purpose of a speedrun. When a player speedruns through an RPG, they do as little battling as possible to help cut time and get through areas. In the RPG game Paper Mario, there are a number of battles that seem like a waste of time. One of them is the Flying Bumblebee. To battle the bee in Paper Mario, you do not engage him. He attacks you with a sting and the battle begins. At one point in the game, Mario floats in a bubble and must get past the bee to avoid this battle. The majority of the time, the bubble will float past and cut a lot of time off the speedrun. For one player, this is not the case. The bee comes swarming in and his record time pops just as fast as the bubble. Mario is then forced to fight off some bees, which seem pretty tame when compared to some of the crazy baddies that he's battled throughout the years. Super Mario Stuck Glitch. The original Super Mario Bros. Is the king of speedruns. Players have beaten the game in mere minutes, using precise timing, incredible moves, and a whole lot of memorization. The same cannot be said for the Mario sequel level known as Super Mario Bros. The Lost Levels. The levels are harder to navigate, cannot be cruised through, and feature a lot of tough challenges. During one impressive speedrun, a player managed to make it all the way to World 8-4 without running into any issues. After completing an impressive dual Koopa Troopa jump, the next step was going through a pipe and reaching the next section of the level. Sadly, that would not happen. After grabbing a power-up mushroom, the player leaps a little too high and ends up above the pipe. He's essentially stuck at the top of the level with nowhere to go. That's the worst place to be in a speedrun like this. There's no way to kill yourself and the only option is to let the timer run out. As Mario sat there stuck, the player must have realized that he needed to go through 8 worlds again to reach that point. Well, there you have it. What moment do you think had the worst luck? Are there any that we missed? Let us know in the comments section below. Don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to The Gamer on YouTube so you can stay up to date with our awesome playlist. Thanks for watching.